First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And I just want to respond to my response to this Cleveland shooting deal. And basically, you know, you see a lot of things like these happening on the internet, which are highlighted by Esau's media. You know, you got cyber crime, cyber bullying, and all these different things, you know, because the internet is like an open landscape, you know, where people could just jump in there, you know, do what they want to do on there. You know, you got people using the internet to shoot people live, you know, to gain attention and whatever the case may be. This is what's happening. This is all part of the Ordo Abkeo, and it all leads into the mark of the beast, okay, which is at the center of the New World Order, which is nothing but control. The mark of the beast just represents control, the quantification and the control of everything via one system. Everything interconnected and quantified through electronics, through ubiquitous computing and ubiquitous RFID. All right. And so you see this whole deal with this Cleveland shooting now. Like I said, the RFID is the solution for everything. Every area, pretty much everything that's going wrong in the society, man, it all leads to the chip. Like with terrorism, you know, tracking and tracing how they're spending money and so forth, that can be solved by having a cashless society in there. Well, that's what they're going to put forward. With these terrorists, like I said, 7 times out of 10 with these terrorists, they always have the narrative that, yeah, the security services were monitoring these people, but somehow they still managed to evade and do this terrorist attack. So they're pushing out there that they need to start chipping these terror suspects. Now, the chip is also, not only is it tracking, but it's also ID. Now, there's a thing that's been pushed out. I'm gonna read this article, but this guy's name is Walter Isaacson, and you know he's a high-level Mason. Okay, how high we don't know, but he's high enough that certain things he's saying is insider information. He's being told to push this out there for a reason, you know, to put this out there in the landscape. Now, Walter Isaacson is the CEO of Aspen Institute, you know, which, like the Bilderbergs, and they control all these different institutes and what they push out there in the world. Author of The Innovators and Bias of Steve Jobs, Einstein, Ben Franklin, and Henry Kissinger, which most of the people you just mentioned are so-called Jews. Former editor of Times, CEO of CNN. So you know this guy's juiced in on a certain level. Now it says here, the internet is broken. Here's how I'd fix it. Now, bear in mind, he's saying here's how I'd fix it. But ultimately, this is not his plan. This has always been the plan. Okay, this is an agenda which is from the elites that he's pushing out there to make it seem genuine, like I'm the one that came up with it. It says, changing the encoded anonymity of the web. My big idea is that we have to fix the internet. After 40 years, it has begun to corrode both itself and us. It is still a marvelous and miraculous invention, but now, we speak about the miracles, but now there are bugs in the foundation, bats in the belfry, and trolls in the basement. I do not mean this to be one of those technophobic rants dissing the internet for rewiring our brains to give us twitchy attention span of Donald Trump on Twitter, or pontificating about how we have to log off and smell the flowers. Those qualms about new technologies have existed ever since Plato threatened that the technology of writing would threaten memorization and oratory. So straight away off the bat, he's saying, look, they're not against the technology itself. What they want is control. I love the internet and all its digital offshoots. What I bemoan is its decline. There is a bug in its original design that at first seemed like a feature, but has gradually and now rapidly been exploited by hackers and trolls and malevolent actors. Its packets are encoded with the address of their destination, but not of their authentic origin. With a circuit switched network, you can track or trace back the origins of the information, but that's not true with the packet switch design of the internet. Compounding this was the architecture that Tim Berners-Lee and the inventors of the early browsers created for World Wide Web, which it was designed to, basically the internet was originally designed to be a worldwide wiretap. When you get people to communicate everything over the internet, that means all the people's communications is easily accessible and can be put in a database, can be fed through. That's what Google Analytics is all about. It's all about knowing what people are thinking, what they're saying, because everything people think now, every thought they have in their head, they don't keep it to themselves. They put it on Facebook, they put it on Twitter. And they have big, massive computers which go through that information so they can analyze the group mind of the people. That's how they can come up with predictions. Okay, they got big, massive AIs and computers going through people's reactions and then basically calculating the probability of certain events. So that's what the World Wide Web is all about. It's a big wiretap. But then the Lord had it being used to proliferate this gospel. Okay, it brilliantly allowed the whole of the earth's computers to be webbed together. Okay, and the computers being webbed together is all a part of the New World Order and the Mark of the Beast system, because it allows for that communication, ubiquitous computing, which is necessary for them to gain control. Is it not a web? Okay, even in these films, they show you supercomputers gaining control and wreaking havoc. How do they gain control over the world or over the city? Through the internet, through the connection of all these computers, which are connectable to the internet, and other frequencies. All right, they show you that in with Skynet, man. Skynet got connected to what? The internet. All right, it brilliantly allowed the whole of the Earth's computers to be webbed together and navigated through hyperlinks, but the links were one way. You knew where the links took you, but if you had a web page or a piece of content, you didn't exactly know who was linking to you or coming to your content. Now, I just want to get to the point. All right. It says the lack of secure identification and authentication inherent in the internet's genetic code has also prevented easy transactions, thwarted financial inclusion, destroyed the business models of content creators, unleashed deluges of spam, and forced us to use passwords and two-factor authentication schemes that would have baffled Houdini. Yeah, it's getting more and more now. You got to go through a whole heap of bullshit just to log in or whatever the case may be. But the answer to that is the chip. The trillions being spent and the IQ points of computer science talent being allocated to tackle security issues makes it a drag rather than a spur to productively in some sectors. All right. Now, this is it. If we could start from scratch, here's what I think we would do. Create a system that enables content producers to negotiate with aggregators and search engines to get a royalty whenever their content is used, like ASCAP has negotiated for public performances, blah, blah, blah. Embed a simple digital wallet. This is where your chip comes in. A simple digital wallet and currency for quick and easy small payments for songs, blogs, articles, or whatever other digital contents for sale. Okay? So basically what they're saying, what they're going to bring in is basically you're going to have an ID to access the internet. All right, they're going to rebuild it, and you're going to have an ID, and that way you won't need passwords, and you're going to have one identity on the internet, which is your actual, like now you can have a Google, different emails with different names. You could do pretty much whatever you want. You can be whoever you want on the internet. They're going to get rid of that. All right. And I'm going to show you that. So this is the guy, he's pushing out a bunch of stuff about the new internet. Now, you couple this with this right here. It says the U.S. government begins rollout of its driver's license for the internet. An idea the government has been kicking around since 2011 is finally making its debut. Calling this move ill-timed would be the most gracious way of putting it. A few years back, the White House had a brilliant idea. Why not create a single, secure online ID that Americans could use to verify their identity across multiple websites, starting with the local government services. The New York Times described it at the time as a driver's license for the internet. Okay, and I'll post this link. So this is what's coming. Right, so if you want to be on Facebook and all these things, you're gonna actually have to have your real ID on there. That's why they keep saying, oh, you got all these fake accounts and this and blah blah blah. There's a solution for that, the implantable RFID chip. Now going into this shooting, if he had an implantable RFID chip which he was using to log into his phone and logging into Facebook, they would already have arrested him already, because the minute he did what he did, okay, they would have been able to find him using this chip. It's that simple. He wouldn't be able to hide. And this is where it's all heading, man. All right. No matter which way you look at it, right, they're gonna bring forth the chip as the solution, right? And a lot of you, especially RUIC, these cats, a lot of them people that are RUIC members, when the heat comes down, and they're described as violent or non-violent extremists and whatever the case may be and blah, blah, blah. And they say, well, okay, you want to show us you're not a terrorist, take this chip so that we can monitor you. They're going to take the chip because guess what? They've not been taught not to take the chip. Okay, and even if they were taught not to take the chip, have they been taught that it's the mark of the beast and it's a matter of life and death? No. So when their life is at stake or their livelihood is at stake, of course they're going to take that chip. And let me bring the scripture out on the mark of the beast, man. All right. Everyone should know Revelations 13:16 and downwards, man. Okay. And he causeth all. Who's the he? The so-called white man, which is the state. Because they ain't going to actually be some one man somewhere. No, it's the state. It's the government. Okay. And that's why you got the FEMA executive orders. They're going to take control of everything. How are they going to be able to take control of everything? Because everything is electronic, and I'm going to give you that chip. And he calls it all, which, by the way, according to the FEMA executive orders, they're going to take control of all communications. That includes the internet. You see? That includes the internet, man. See, this thing is a big psyop what's going on right now. All right? And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, which buying and selling is everything in a society. Everything you do in a society is a transaction. That's what buying and selling is a transaction. Everything you do, whether you're going on the internet, you pay for your broadband, right? Okay? Even if you're getting something for free, you have to register to get it for free. Just like if you go to a store, you go into the newspaper and they give you a voucher that you can go into a store to get something for free. You're still going and buying it even though you're getting it for free. It's a transaction. So anytime you're receiving something or giving something, it's a transaction. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you're getting it for free, like welfare, it's a transaction. So everything in this man's side is a transaction. So by saying you ain't going to be able to buy and sell, that ain't just talking about buying and selling what you think. It's talking about everything. Even traveling is a transaction. Because you have to have a permit to travel. You know what I'm saying? You got to have gas. You got a carbon footprint. Technically, according to the carbon footprinting, breathing is a transaction. Because your breathing can be quantified into an amount of money. Did you know that? According to the carbon footprint, every time you breathe, that's a transaction right there. Carbon tax. All right. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. That's why you got these smart watches and smart this, smart that, monitor your breathing, monitor your sleep. You're going to be paying for that sleep. That's why you're only going to get as much sleep as you are allotted to. And if they were to bring in this new world order, if they say you only going to get 6.5 hours of sleep, that's how much you're going to get. And as soon as you've had that 6.5 hours sleep, the chip is going to wake your ass up, man. That's how it works. This man is the devil, man. You don't know. You ain't ready for this devil. That's why the Lord have got to take this guy out the way, because he's a maniac. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now I just want to jump to Revelations 14 and 9. Revelations 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast. Okay, now what it means to worship, it means to bow down to reverence. You know what I mean? To be like a dog. Like the majority of these so-called black women, man, they gonna be bowing down to the government because they believe in the government to take care of them. And you niggas too. A lot of you are gonna bow down to the government like the government is God. Trying to get rations, trying to get whatever you can get out of the so-called white man, trying to get security, trying to be safe. Oh, yo, where FEMA at? Yo, where FEMA at? Begging FEMA. They weren't calling on Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They worship the beast and his image. Okay, they like his society. They like his system. All right, they want to live under that system. They don't want to live under the system that's in the scriptures. And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Okay, which the majority of people are going to get the chip in their right hand. Why is that? The majority of people are right-handed. So when you go up to a chipping station and say put your hand forward to receive the chip, you ain't going to put your butt cheek up on the table to take no damn chip. First of all, having a chip in your butt cheek is not fucking practical, man. If you got to wave your hand over a reader or something, well, you got every time you got to pay for something or use a reader or whatever, you know, if you got to do that, you going to put your butt cheek on there, man? Are you crazy? Realistically speaking, if you had to have that device in your hand, it's just like these people that get if you got to take your phone out your pocket to pay, or your card out to pay for something. If you're right-handed, you use your right hand. If you're left-handed, you use your left hand. Okay, if I throw a ball at someone, if he's right-handed, they tend to catch it with their right hand. If they're left-handed, they'll tend to catch it with their left hand. So at these chipping stations, man, the majority of people are what? Right-handed. So when they go up there to get that chip, and they say, yo, give me your hand, we're going to put the chip. They're going to put their right hand forward. If you're left-handed, you're going to put your left-handed forward. It's that simple, man. But it don't matter what hand you put it in. And it don't matter where you put it. If you receive the mark in your forehead or in your hand or anywhere else. Now you might say I'm adding or taking away. No, the issue is not whether you took it in your forehead or took it in your hand. The issue is that you took it in the first place. For the reason you took it. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of this Lamb. All right, so you're going to be judged. Ultimately, you trying to save your life. The scripture says, he that seeketh to save his life shall lose it. You trying to save your life. Ultimately, you're going to lose your life, okay, over that chip. And Esau is getting ready to bring that system in. All he needs is just more chaos. And once more chaos comes in, you're going to start to see that mark of the beast system getting rolled out heavy. Okay? Because that is paramount to their new world order and their control grid. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.